Hello, traditional championship wrestling fans. Those of you out there who, quite frankly, aren't really ready to admit you watch this program, and even those out there who are watching this just to get some good ideas and see exactly what those guys are going to say. Welcome to TCW Tonight. My name is the manager of Monsters, Ace Dalton. Usually you would see Scott Stevens sitting in this chair, which would explain a lot to me why this studio smells like Vienna sausages and hot sauce. But, you know, he's not here tonight. He's made some demands, and we're going to cross that bridge when we get there. But I feel obligated to do something since I have this platform here tonight. You know, in the first two episodes, me and the president, owner of this company, William Buchanan III, who, let me go ahead and clear something up. No, Ace Dalton is not Willie B3, and Willie B3 is not Ace Dalton. We are two completely separate men. But by golly, we have two very like minds. The reason traditional championship wrestling has shown up here on Facebook and on your iPhones and Androids and on your computers is because of the vision that me, myself, Ace Dalton, and Willie B3 has put together. You see, it was just a few months ago, July 1st to be exact, Saturday night, Weir's Cave, Virginia. Some of you might have been there. It was when an independent company that you hear Scott talk about all the time, and he refers to it as disbanded. Well, disbanded is really kind of a polite way of saying it. But on that night, William Buchanan III sat front row, and he watched a great night of professional wrestling with a quality production, great wrestling action, interesting and exciting storylines. And he said, man, these guys are on to something. But you see, what Willie B3 didn't know was there were people busting their butt for that company, working hard. Scott, you were one of them. I was one of them. And there were others. They all came with great ideas and plans for productions and everything you can imagine. But you see, the leadership in that company left a lot to be desired, because you learn real quick you can't book talent 6 months in advance with money you don't have. You learn real quick you can't sneak one by the DPOR down there in Richmond. And you learn real quick it takes money and common sense to run a professional wrestling business, not faith. So when that disbanded, quite frankly, I was relieved to an extent, but it left a lot for me. It made me want to finish what I started, and that's when I got a phone call one day from Willie B3, a man with brains, business intellect, common sense, and most importantly, a little bit of cash. And that goes a long way with me. So the first thing we did was we put our minds together and we said, you know what, we take what we started on July 1st in Weir's Cave and we make it grow. And that's when we decided, you know what, we need Scott Stevens. Because Scott, I'm going to give you a rub here. You're pretty good at what you do. That's why you were brought on. And it's disconcerting to me to see you want to pack your bag and go home just because of a couple of jokes, man. Me and Willie B3, man, yeah, we jerked your chain if you want to call it that, brother. But man, we was just having a little fun. Maybe we went too far. And for that, you know what? I apologize. But I will tell you this. You made a very reasonable demand. You said that you would not step foot in front of this camera again until you find out face to face if William Buchanan III is legit. So Scott, I'm going to be honest with you. We need you here. TCW needs you here. You know, I don't want to sit here every week and talk to these fans. I don't want to sit here and constantly smell this weird Vienna sausage and hot. I mean, seriously, what do you do in here? So Scott, your demands is you want a face-to-face interview with Willie B3. I'm going to make you a deal because I want you to come back to TCW tonight. The fans want you to come back. I see the post. Please don't go. Please, you got Calvin all in an uproar. Don't leave Calvin, Scott. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You want answers. You want facts. No jokes. No ribs. I'm going to give you what you want, Scott, because you deserve that much. So right here, next Sunday night on TCW Tonight, Windbag, you're going to be sitting right here. Willie B3 is going to be sitting right here. And the manager of Monsters is going to be sitting right next to him. And we're going to have a grand old time. And Scott, you can ask all the questions you want to. You can come back home and you can be what you love. You can come back and be the Oprah Winfrey of professional wrestling. We're going to give you the opportunity because I'm going to give you what you want. So take your pad out, write down everything you want to know about TCW, about Willie B3, because next Sunday night, all three of us are going to sit right here and we're going to answer all your questions. We're going to answer all the fans' questions because we know there's got to be some curiosity. But I will say this. With me and Willie B3 at the helm, TCW is going to run independent wrestling in the Shenandoah Valley. We're not going to give you some podunk, hillbilly, clueless promoter coming out here trying to run a show. We're not going to give you some big fancy meet and greet filled with crap wrestling afterwards. We're going to give you a quality product. Because whether you like me or not, whether or not you agree with what I have to say, I love professional wrestling. And me and Willie B3, we're going to bring professional wrestling back to the Shenandoah Valley the way it should be. Our way. The way it always has been. So Scott, come back. Bring you a freaking can of Febreze. And me, Willie B3, will meet you right here next Sunday night, 7 p.m. Adios, muchachos.